I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, I don't know why I tried to do this, and by way of explanation, tells her life story. We are about 60 pages into book 3, working title Shiny Pretty Gothic. Last week in Do the Wrong Thing in the 80s, Ava and Michelle got a live-in warehouse together, and in 2017, Ava fantasized about being a famous writer with video games and book-based merchandise made for her story. I've changed the name of this chapter from Art to The Warehouse, and we are continuing with it. He jumps down in front of me. He's wearing a black motorcycle jacket. His hair is red, chin length, a bob, his face grim and determined. I see him much too late. I was picking along the walkway, enjoying the browns, tans, and pale blues of the area, a sort of warehouse district by the water. The buildings, if you can call them that, are nailed together willy-nilly, 2x4s and planks with lights spread around, illuminating some areas, but not others. Some of the planks are painted soft blue. Sometimes the light is blue, like I'm on an avant-garde theater set, and beauty or interestingness is more important than the structure's ability to stand or be useful. The buildings have a jagginess, like a Picasso painting. But while the painting would have some round lines and curves, these buildings don't. I've been dreaming about these buildings for months. There's never anyone in them, just me, walking alone, enjoying the colors, visual rhythm, and artistry. I wake up refreshed and amazed. On other nights, I dream that I'm being chased by a black figure. He doesn't have a face. He's a fuzzy outline of a man about 8 feet tall. He's the absence of a man. I try to call for my mom in these dreams. She's one brightly lit living room away from me, while I run in a green-hued semi-darkness with no solid ground below me, no walls, no nothing, except an indistinct road I sink into, trying to escape this non-creature always on the verge of catching me. I can never finish the call for help. Ma, ma, ma! I wake up sweating. In my current dream, I face the red-haired man on the raised narrow boardwalk in the beautiful warehouse setting. On one side, dark water laps against the beams below, and on the other, the Picasso-ish structures. Well, they were there until, as dreams go, I saw the man. He's not ghostly and vague. I see every line and wrinkle on his face, but he's nobody I've ever met before. Today, in 2017, if I saw this guy in the street, I'd remember him from this dream and run like hell. I've Googled Michael, red hair, to see if he's an actor or famous person. Oh, yeah, that's right. I know his name in the dream, a man I've never seen before, and I know his name. The beautiful buildings meld into a solid wooden wall, blocking any escape. Michael clambers along the tin towards me, his expression soulless, hostile, and determined. He jumps down. Ma, 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 mom! I'm sitting up in bed. I hear the echo of my scream. I hear Michelle's footsteps, then she's asking from the bathroom, are you okay? Yeah. Nightmare? Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you go back to sleep? Do you want me to stay with you? No, I'm okay. I'm okay, thanks. I don't mind. It's okay. Okay. Well, good night. Good night. Good night. Thanks. I know I'm not going to dream about Michael or the shadowy non-man again because I called my mom for help. I did it. The sun slants across my table. I write it out in longhand, all in one go, delighted to leave my own existence for an hour or so. The story is called White Walls, and it's about a woman in an insane asylum and her daughter. It's told in jaggy pieces with short stories that don't always connect to the main one. Here. White walls. Mum. The walls were white, the ceilings were white, the floor was gray. Her clothes were whiter sheets where her pillow was. The night table and chair by her door were white, the curtains were, her eyes were, her head was. Outside, a garden full of white people. The grass is green. Inside, black. Past, present, future, time, space, no identity. She can't call for help without driving people away. That's why she's here. Her baby plays on the green and white checkerboard floor. It makes a mess with its Mr. Freezy. What a quiet child. What a stupid child. The nurse brings supper, a dry slab of meat, brown, mashed potatoes, gray, gravy brown, half a cup of peas, green, and coleslaw, pale green. Coffee, gray, jello, red, and cake crumbling, white. Her husband says she takes things too seriously. Christmas time, a new clock with an electric chime. Sitting on the couch, it begins to fall, helpless, too many parcels in the way. Everyone watches it crash. Mommy, mommy, her own child's call haunts her from her own past. She won't answer. She won't answer a call like that. Flowers to be mended. The cats have gone through the gardens again, ripping up violets and petunias, breaking tulips, bending peonies. She has the nicest flowers in the neighborhood. Had. Spring and all the planning to be done, fall and all the digging up. In winter, there's Christmas and summer holidays, the beach, camping. All her brothers and sisters can go, but she can't. Her husband's job keeps him away. She won't go alone. She goes alone. The child is a mess, popsicle and sand. She lugs him to the water and washes him. He doesn't mind the cold. She looks at the ceiling after supper. Her sheets feel stiff. Her hands lie together on her stomach. She can see the Javiks they've been through, big knuckles, big, bony farm girls' hands, skin stretched tight and shiny across the backs. She backhands her daughter across the side of the head because the girl hadn't swept the kitchen floor, puffed wheat scattered under the table. Kids are such pigs. In Germany, the barn was connected to the house by a short change room. The kitchen stunk. 9 greedy arms are reaching across the brown table to dip bread in bacon fat. 9 greasy hands, and behind them, greasy faces, bright, dull children's eyes. She looks at them with contempt and feeds her little brother. His face isn't a mess. She'll be hungry, but at least she isn't part of them. She'll eat later when they're in bed. Her husband was handsome and strong when she met him, dignified and quiet. No one could say she was making a bad match. He was a farmer, it's true, but he never tried a thing before marriage. He respected her. Then she worked in the barn like a peasant. That was okay. No one saw her except him, and he was very sorry to have her there. He knew she deserved better. Someday I'll have a large house and no farm, she thinks. I'll watch soap operas and give to charities. Perhaps I'll adopt or just look after some refugees. A scream in the room next door. Mabel, a Pole. She's had a hard life, she thinks. Poor Mabel. Then her daughter rebelled. That girl had courage and strength. What was she doing now? A writer in the big city? Hadn't seen any books yet. Her youngest son adores the girl. He's going to go bad. She can see it. Already he works as hard as she did in school and fills his room with pictures like her. He likes to read too and wander off with the dog. He's never unhappy, little goody-goody. Hard not to like him. Always doing sweet things to cheer her up, flowers and presents. Makes her feel like a queen, special kid. Quiet. Mabel quit screaming. Must have shot her full of morphine.